Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. Cool but a nice clear evening here in Cincinnati. We're inside Great American Ballpark as the Cubs and the Reds open up the final regular season series of 2016. Welcome to Cubs baseball here on CSN. Jim DeShays and Len Casper with you. The Cubs didn't win last night, nor did they lose last night. Go figure.
So what did they do? They tied. There's two things that are not supposed to happen in baseball, crying and tying, but indeed last night they did tie. Odd circumstances, tie ball game, the rains came. We could not resume after waiting an hour and a half, so declared a tie, will not be made up, will not be finished. So the Cubs will finish with a tie on their ledger. First time in Major League Baseball since 2005, first time for the Cubs since May of '93.
Spot starters tonight. Jake Buchanan will go for the Cubs. Josh Smith, a right-hander, will go for Cincinnati. Cubs have dominated the season series. They've won 13 out of 16 here. And over the years, they've had some historic things happen here. Some firsts in terms of home runs. Some big two-homer games. A no-hitter by Jake Arrieta earlier this season. What will happen this weekend? Find out. Cubs and Reds coming up. Ballpark getting you set for the Cubs and the Reds. Very controversial finish last night for the Reds in St. Louis after they tied the game in the top of the ninth. The Cardinals would walk off on Yadier Molina's shot to left. But the ball actually hit the warning track and then bounced over the padding. There's a secondary wall behind the main wall, so it was out of place. Should have been a ground rule double, and the winning run actually should have gone back to third. Brian Price, about 40 seconds after the game ended, wanted a replay, but the umpires had already left the field, so there was no replay. Cardinals win, and Joe Madden talked about Busch Stadium in that very situation earlier.
Because I've been in that dugout, you can't see that corner. You cannot see that corner. You just can't. So you have to have some kind of a lag time there in order to get all the information back to you. It's impossible. If you've noticed, a lot of times I will jump out of a dugout when the ball's in a corner to try to gather information on my own, but still sometimes I can't see. Because even like here, you can look out in that corner right now and you can't see anything. And even if you're in that corner, I'd have to get out there quickly to see it. So I don't understand why they weren't permitted to get it done properly. I really don't.
So our T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball, and MLB basically saying there has to be a challenge immediately on a game-ending play. I have a feeling that might change next season as a result of what happened last night. But the Reds, they didn't hear the phone ring in their dugout from the video room.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that kind of went wrong in that play, but probably the most important thing that went wrong is just the rule itself. I think it was interpreted properly by the umpires, but it seems to me that there needs to be a little more wiggle room in that rule so they could come back and make an adjustment and play on. So I wouldn't be surprised if they addressed it prior to the postseason this year to make sure something like that doesn't happen in the playoffs.
Yeah, it could be. Now the Cubs Southwest starting lineup that will face right-hander Josh Smith, Fowler, Bryant, and Rizzo at the top. Zobrist, Hayward, and Russell in the middle. You see what Jason Hayward has done in this ballpark this season. Coghlan, Montero, Buchanan rounded out for game one. Josh Smith is ready to work. Couple of starts, both coming against the Cubs this month. And we're underway. Strike one on Dexter Fowler. The leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. And if Fowler gets a hit here, Binny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository.
Smith made that start against the Cubs back on September 20th. And then he worked on Sunday out of the bullpen against the Brewers. And that's mostly what he's done, is work out of the bullpen. 30 times he's done that, and just the one start against the Cubs prior to tonight. 3-2 with a .477 earned run average.
Fowler 2 hits shy of 1,000 in his major league career. Drifting back is Adam Duvall. He's got it with the first out.
I'll check in on the Reds defensively. It's brought to you by Arby's. You see Duvall out there, the all-star. He's in left. Iribar in center. Tony Renda, a rookie's in right. Suarez Peraza on the left side of the infield. Ivan De Jesus Jr. at second. Joey Votto is the first baseman. Tucker Barnhart is the catcher. And there's your Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher. 3-2, .477. As I mentioned, making his second start.
Called strike on Chris Bryant.
Smith is not a kid. He's 29 years of age.
6'2", 220. Missed outside. Well, you know, Chris would like to hit one more home run in the regular season, get to 40 on the year. Well, this week surpassed 100 RBIs.
He's come to the right spot. He's done a lot of damage against this club and a whole bunch of it here in this ballpark.
kick and the 1-2. And he laid off a breaking ball. It's Tom Hallion, the crew chief, down at first. Nice night. Wind not an issue, 63 degrees. So light jacket or sweatshirt weather here in Cincinnati on the final day of September.
It's been a very mild September.
Iribarren makes a grab. The 4 umpires tonight. Gabe Morales is back at the plate. Tom Hallion is at first. Chad Whitson at second, and Chicago area native Dan Bellino over at third.
Anthony Rizzo has done a lot of damage against the Reds this year as well. Cubs have really beat up on Cincinnati, 13-3 against them. Kind of like they've done against the Pirates. 6-1 here in this ballpark. The Cubs hit a home run every 13.6 at-bats in this ballpark this year. That's like their Babe Ruth when they come to this yard.
Low and outside.
It's a Ruthian pace.
Rizzo has made this park feel very small at times, as has Bryant. So Bryant and Rizzo, the first Cub teammates with 100 RBIs each since Aramis Ramirez and Moises Salou, 2004.
Try to crowd him with a heater.
And
Got it done.
Get jammed, and Rizzo flies to center, and the Cubs go quietly in the first. Reds coming up against that man, Jake Buchanan. Starting lineup, it's been a bit of a battle of attrition. They've been dealing with some injuries. Zach Cozart done with a knee issue, so Peraza is at short. Billy Hamilton also done for the season. Hernan Iribarren at center. Joey Votto took some stitches in his chin last night, but he's in there. Adam Duvall in left. Suarez at third. Ivan De Jesus Jr. spelling Brandon Phillips at second. Barnhart the catcher. Tony Renda is in right, and the pitcher Smith batting ninth.
Cubs afield, brought to you by Arby's. Coughlin, Fowler, Hayward, left, center, right. Bryant, Russell, Zobrist, Rizzo on the infield. Miguel Montero behind the plate. Lexus pursuing perfection. Starting pitcher Jake Buchanan.
Just got it in there. Nicely done.
Just in the nick of time. Second appearance with the Cubs. He pitched 1 inning back on September 5th.
Third major league start. The other 2 came with the Houston Astros, 2014.
He was with the Astros in spring training this year, got released. Cubs signed him. He spent the year at AAA. Posted a 12-8 record with a .434 earned run average. Both these pitchers here tonight, similar stylistically. Buchanan, like Smith, fastball, slider, curve, and change. The 4 basic pitches. Relies on movement as opposed to velocity on the fastball.
Peraza bounces over the mound. It'll be picked up by Russell, and he got him. Peraza runs well. Nicely done by Addison Russell.
Jake will learn if he sticks around with the Cubs for any length of time that keeping the ball on the ground is a pretty good idea with this infield defense. Certain amount of comfort when you're a pitcher and the ball gets hit in that man's direction.
Hernan Iribarren playing center. So I mentioned Cozart, right knee. Billy Hamilton, strained oblique. Votto left early last night. Cut as he got hit in the face by a throw on the chin. Took 7 stitches, but he's in there tonight. Brandon Phillips has a sore hand. Scott Schebler has a sore hamstring. Kevin Mesoraco, another lost season due to injury. There's a roller into left for a base hit. The Iribarren is on. Jay Bruce got traded, so it's a much different looking lineup than what we would have seen very early this season.
Yeah, and it's a lineup that's actually performed pretty well second half of the season. They actually lead the National League in batting average since the All-Star break, hitting .280. They're second in on-base percentage, trailing the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, they've played well lately.
Yeah. Well, you know, Kemp and Freeman have really gone off, and this guy obviously has led the way. The second half surge for the Reds offensively. I say it that way because he's from Canada.
He's hitting .410 in the second half. Slicing fly ball out to Chris Coghlan. Good to see Coghlan back in the lineup. After tweaking his ankle the other night. 2 down. Here's the All-Star Adam Duvall. Reds are going to finish in last place, but certainly one of the very positive storylines for them this year is the emergence of Duvall.
Yeah, they're in this rebuild here. They extended Brian Price, announced that today, and he'll be back next year. Some intriguing young arms out in the bullpen. A couple guys are taking a look at in the rotation. I would think they would be looking to move Phillips again this offseason. They had a deal with the Washington Nationals last year for Brandon Phillips. Phillips vetoed that trade.
Walt Jocketty, who will be transitioning into an advisory role. Dick Williams, their senior VP and general manager. One ball, one strike.
Jake, an 8th round pick, Jake Buchanan, in 2010 out of North Carolina State University.
Six feet, 235 pounds. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
So, you know, a limited work at the big league level, but given, you know, his time with the Astros a couple of years ago, he had 5 appearances with him last year. He has, at least in this relatively small sample, proven to be a pretty good ground ball pitcher. And you could see why. Gets good sink on the 2-seamer.
Called strike 3. And will end the inning. After 1 from Cincinnati, Cubs nothing, Reds nothing.
Baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. Unforgettable games, undeniable greatness, and unstoppable drama. The 2016 postseason begins October 4th. Go to MLB.com/postseason for a full schedule.
A lot of Cubs blue in the stands here in Cincinnati. Ball got onto the running track in left. To see Catherine Walsh here tonight. She attends Dayton.
The daughter of our esteemed producer John.
At the University of Dayton.
Yes,
Dayton University.
Dayton Flyers. That's her on the right.
The 0-1 to Ben Zobrist, misses on a breaking ball outside. 1-1 to count. Bottom of the zone, 1-2. We've been talking a lot about what's next for this ball club. They'll wait on their first round opponent, one of three possible teams. Wild card situation has not yet been sorted out. And Zobrist bounces out to Votto. Giants, Mets, Cardinals.
Yeah, it should be a fun weekend of scoreboard watching, both the National League and the American League. Wild card situation still a little fuzzy. Mets are at Philly this weekend. Dodgers are in San Francisco. Good pitching matchup there tonight. Rich Hill and Madison Bumgarner. And the Pirates are in St. Louis for the weekend. Glasnow and Martinez pitching in that ball game.
Ball one on Jason Hayward. Cubs will probably have Monday off. Just kick up their feet. Get back together on Tuesday and probably work out Wednesday and Thursday as well. So the National League wildcard game is Wednesday, so the Cubs won't know who they will play till the middle of the week. Popped him up on the right side of the infield. And on the grass apron is Joey Votto for the out. So pretty tight, and that Cardinal win last night tighten it up.
Yeah, Mets are in pretty
Even
good
more.
shape. They're 2 games better than the Cardinals. And the Giants 1 game better than St. Louis.
Addison Russell with 2 outs, and he takes a strike. 0 for 8 in that Pirates series. Was hit by 2 pitches, scored 3 runs.
I'm trying to recall, conjure in my limited brain space I have left, a Mets Giants postseason series of any kind. I don't remember that ever happening.
Pretty well, but it's going to carry all the way out to Erie Barn. You are stumping me, so yeah, I'll think more about that.
They had Willie Mays throw out the first pitch.
Oh yeah. A special edition of Beer Money presented by Coors Light with Cubs Anthony Rizzo and David Ross. Watch them test their sports trivia knowledge in a hilarious must-see half hour of fun. Beer Money tomorrow following Cubs post-game live right here on CSN. Cotton candy at the ballpark. Can't beat it.
It's a gender-specific cotton candy.
A Eugenio Suarez will lead off, and he takes a strike. And the right-hander Buchanan. Rob Zastryzny started in Pittsburgh last night. Pitched well. He went 3 2/3, gave up 1 unearned run.
And Travis Wood worked an inning and a third, so he got some work in.
That's Ben Zobrist, and he makes the catch.
It actually worked out good for the Cubs that game was suspended. Save some arms for tonight, because this was originally going to be Jason Hamill's start. He's got a little tender elbow thing going on, so Buchanan gets to start here tonight. Not sure how far he's going to be able to go in this ball game. And I think there was a little bit of a concern with Joe. Had he had to use a number of arms to get through the rest of the ball game last night, might have been a little bit limited here tonight. Of course, September rosters being what they are, I don't think it's ever going to be a real issue.
Ivan DeJesus Jr. looks at ball 1. Late afternoon start tomorrow. We'll be with you at 3 o'clock Chicago time. John Lester has a lot to pitch for tomorrow. His final regular season start, and he's sitting on 19 wins, 19-4, with a 2.28. Big time Cy Young contender, along with his teammate Kyle Hendricks, who will pitch on Sunday. Kyle goes into that one with a 199.
Yeah, so they both, there's a compelling case for both guys, especially if Hendricks finishes with a sub-2 ERA. And of course, if John gets to 20 wins, I think most voters don't value the win the way they used to, nor should they. But it still is an attention getter when you rack up 20 Ws. And I'm reading a lot of the national writers. There's a lot of pro Max Scherzer sentiment out there. I get it. I'm a little biased. I think the two Cub guys have a more compelling argument, but I understand it.
I think it's going to be a very, very close race.
Yeah.
I think all 3 of those guys will get first place votes. By the way, the voters for the Cy Young, they can put 5 names on the ballot. And as DeJesus takes the walk, and it'll bring up the catcher, Tucker Barnhart, is a switch hitter.
So 5 on the ballot. You don't have to tell me the order, but let's put together. So Hendricks, Lester, Scherzer.
Yep. For me, and it's based on merit, but I also think it would be neat to see Jose Fernandez finish in the top 5. Right. So I think his name will appear on a lot of ballots.
And would Bumgarner be the other one?
That would probably be the other name. Yeah.
And the other guy who's going to get votes is Clayton Kershaw.
He might get top 5, but yeah, he might get a vote in the top 5. He will not qualify because he doesn't have enough innings to be among the league leaders, ERA and that sort of thing.
But that doesn't preclude him from being
correct
to getting Cy Young votes. Anybody else? Are we missing anyone? And Tanner Roark's had a very nice year over there in Washington. Strasburg, had he stayed healthy, would have been in the mix.
For a while, Arrieta.
Mm-hmm.
Noah Syndergaard.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's the,
yeah.
the big
Forgot
one
about
we
him.
forgot. Yeah, Johnny Cueto. Chop foul past first. Yeah, Syndergaard will finish in the top 5, I would think.
Yeah, and he'll get a lot of points for, just pushing through on a staff that's been so banged up. He's been so important to them. I don't know that should be part of the thinking if you have a vote. It should be based on just individual performance, regardless of what the other guys on your pitching staff have done. But I imagine some voters would take that into consideration.
One and two. Here it comes. A little check swing pop up. That's actually going to hit the turf. Bryant will get one relay throw late.
Well, that was either a very good read by DeJesus or a lucky read. Ball popped up like that. You would think, hang on, just in case it's caught, you don't get doubled off first base. But off he went, and it was the right play because the ball got down. But Bryant's still able to get him at second base. It's interesting because I thought DeJesus was going to hold up and read that a little bit longer, and I also thought Chris was going to make the safe play across the diamond to first. Neither one of those things took place.
Now the right fielder, Tony Renda.
Jake Buchanan, when he was at North Carolina State, was a 3-year teammate of Russell Wilson, the fine quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks.
Good. I like it.
Apparently Wilson was a basketball player there as well. I mean, this kid could do it all. He played baseball and basketball at NC State, and then after he was drafted, and then he transferred, right? He finished at Wisconsin, didn't he?
Yeah. As we get to know Jake Buchanan, 11th starting pitcher used by the Cubs. 2 making their first starts here in the last 2 days. I've got an answer to one of your questions thanks to Michael on Twitter. Mets Giants Division Series 2000.
All righty.
Mets won in 4 games.
Thank you, Michael. It's all coming back to me now.
Well, here's the thing. Including tonight, we've got 3 more telecasts to go. So these hanging questions that are out there, we just have to make sure all that stuff's cleaned up by the end of Sunday. I don't want to sit there on April 11th of next year and go, hey, that question you asked 7 months ago, here's the answer. I don't want that hanging over my head all winter. Hard to left and foul. One little thing back to the Cardinal red controversy. I don't know if we can take a look at just the outfield wall here. They do it right. They've got yellow line on top of the padding all the way around from foul pole to foul pole. At Wrigley Field, you have the yellow rope atop the basket. That might become standard, right? Because not every park has it. And I think it would have helped the umpires last night in St. Louis. Bryant will get it to Zobrist in time, and that'll end the inning. After 2 from Cincinnati, we are scoreless.
Sloan Park in Mesa, Arizona, with Cubs destinations. Spring training packages include game tickets, hotel accommodations, rental car, Cubs swag, and a private meet and greet with Cub players. Details available soon at Cubs.com/travel. A good time will be had by all.
For sure. Here's Chris Coughlin. More good news announced today by the Cubs a couple of days after Theo Epstein's contract extension was announced. Jed Hoyer, Jason McLeod also officially had their contracts extended. Jed, the Cubs executive vice president and general manager. Jason, the senior vice president, scouting and player development.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Locked in through 2021. Keeping the band together. Coughlin lifts in the air left center. It'll be caught by Duvall. And Josh Smith has faced 7 and has retired all of them. Miguel Montero, the catcher. The ball's been busy early. So 8 Cubs have batted all and put the ball in play. 2 groundouts and 6 flyouts. Buchanan, the pitcher. You sensed it last night. We knew rain was coming. It was getaway night. We seem to have passed that threshold now where the Cubs players are a little antsy.
Well, we've been talking all month how it's like September, like you're getting ready for something, or excuse me, like spring training. Spring training, it's all about getting ready to play the championship season, and for the Cubs in September, it's been all about getting ready to play the postseason. And typically in spring training, you kind of go through peaks and valleys of you're content just to kind of go along, and then you get, okay, let's go. And I think that's where they're at now. Let the real games begin.
Josh Smith has been sharp early, perfect through 3. 0-0. Think mortgage in Chicago, think eClick Lending. Whether looking to purchase or refi, never pay lender fees with eClick Lending. Visit us online at eclicklending.com to lock in your low rate today. eClick Lending. Point, click, save. Nice night here in Cincinnati. The Cubs have played very well in this ballpark. They played well pretty much everywhere this year. Won 6 out of 7 here and 13 out of 16 overall against the Reds. Two starters have been good early as Buchanan faces Smith. Low and outside for ball 1. Ground ball to Zobrist. To the top and the rookie Peraza.
Peraza doesn't walk much, but manages to keep a high on base percentage because he's hitting for such a high batting average. Got speed. He's stolen 18 bases. And hit for power. Certainly has contact skills. And you figure at some point he may take over as the everyday shortstop here. And certainly if they are able to trade Zach Cozart this offseason, I don't know if that's in the works or not. If not, maybe Peraza takes on more of a super utility role next year.
Third organization signed by Atlanta 2010, traded to the Dodgers last year and then dealt here to Cincinnati over the winter. Slicing drive to Hayward, who was playing in. So 2 outs and it's Iribarren.
Don't miss your chance to watch October baseball from the all-inclusive unique atmosphere of the rooftops across from Wrigley Field. Limited playoff tickets are available now by calling 773-248-ROOF or by visiting WrigleyRooftops.com.
Low for ball 1.
Yeah, most of his misses have been down. In his major league career, Buchanan 1-3 with a 4.17 ERA. This is his 3rd start. He's worked 21 times out of the bullpen. Again, that was with the Astros, mostly in 2014, a little bit last year.
Real quiet guy, keeps to himself. Recently turned 27. And he makes a catch. So Iribarren lines out. Buchanan and Smith each dealing 3 scoreless innings to start this game. High school lights on CSN Chicago. It's a half hour of scores, game recaps, and highlights from around the region. High school lights presented by Wintrust, live at 11 p.m. on CSN and streaming live at csnchicago.com. Pepperoni pizza and a Cubs-Reds game. Don't burn your mouth. That's the worst, right?
Although the roof of the mouth thing.
First bite. But when you're really hungry, you want to dive in.
I know. It's a conundrum is what it is.
So second time through against Josh Smith. Did not give up a base runner first time around.
Smith feeling it tonight, working quickly. Wobbly on that delivery.
He is from Margate, Florida. Swinging and a miss. In South Florida, between Boca Raton and Fort Lauderdale. Attended Lipscomb University in Nashville, Tennessee, part of the Atlantic Sun Conference. Who wants it? Duvall.
That's been his MO here tonight. A lot of lazy pop-ups, lazy fly balls. And reports out of St. Louis today that the Cardinals have made it public that they will not pick up the option for Matt Holliday next year. Holliday has issued a statement thanking the organization. Do hope to activate him. Get him in there this weekend at some point, I guess.
One and 0 on Chris Bryant. Make it 1-1. He's done to the Reds what Anthony Rizzo has done to the Pirates.
There's a whole bunch of guys that are putting up good numbers against this team, and again, especially in this ballpark. I looked, the Cubs as a team, OPS in this ballpark is like 920. That's like an elite level hitter. We try just a skosh down or out or some combination. Bryant, that keen eye, works a lot of deep counts. Even in the zone, you're asking for trouble.
Iribarren.
Got away with it.
Well, you go back to a 4-game series here in April. Arrieta no-hitter 16-0. The next night the Cubs won 8-1, and they lost 13-5 before shutting them out 9-0 in the series finale. So it was 4 games. Cubs won 3, and all 4 were blowouts. Cubs were here in late June. Sweeping 11-8, 7-2 in 15 innings, and then 9-2. So yeah, you know, you're averaging 8 or 9 runs a game. Your OPS probably should be 9 something. F7, F8, F8. Jake Arrieta with his second no-hitter in as many seasons here in Cincy in April. Joey Votto doing it again. Last year hit .362 after the break, got on base at a .535 clip. He's hitting .410 in the second half this season. And he will lead off for the Reds here in the bottom of the fourth. Slight choke up on the bat.
So he didn't make the All-Star team last year. Didn't make it again this year.
No, he did make it.
He did make it this year.
He and Arrieta were the two guys who didn't make it last year, but were on the team this year.
I was going to say that he should make sure they vote for him next year.
Oh no, he didn't make it this year.
Yeah, I didn't think
no,
he did.
you're right. You're right. He got hit last night in the chin on a throw from the outfield. 7 stitches.
It's one tough Canadian.
Yep.
He's like George Chavallo. He could take a punch.
Yeah, so 4-time All-Star, but each of the last 2 years hitting .314 and .324. OPS of almost 1,000 combined.
Right. So
Not an
it's
all-star.
kind of like, yeah, when you look back at his career, you're going to, how did he not make it those years?
Well, my idea was to have a postseason All-Star team. And he would definitely make it this year as he would have last season. He hit .213 over the first 2 months. Ground ball to Rizzo. He'll flip to Buchanan.
Anthony could have taken that by himself, but since Buchanan made the effort to come over and cover, figured, well, I might as well. He said, I might as well feed him. That was my lame impression of a fertilizer commercial guy.
I think he looks like that guy.
The feed it guy. Feed your lawn.
Duvall is an all-star.
Ooh, good. Uncle Charlie.
Good breaking ball.
I mean, that's the thing, and this is, again, we've talked about how this is essentially spring training. So a start like this for Buchanan would be much like a spring training start, in that it's an opportunity to just plant a seed in everybody's mind, all the decision makers with the Cubs. Yeah, I can pitch a little bit. I know what I'm doing out here.
Jake should wear number 15, right?
Is that Russell Wilson's
No.
number?
James Buchanan was the 15th president. Can you tell me who preceded James Buchanan and who succeeded?
Chester A. Arthur and James Garfield.
No.
What number was Buchanan?
15.
Oh, Lincoln.
Lincoln would have succeeded. Franklin Pierce.
Great grandfather of Hawkeye Pierce. Skip wants to know who preceded Pierce.
That would be Millard Fillmore. Fine director.
Skip's
Skip Ellison.
he knows
Fillmore.
history, man.
You get him going on presidential trivia.
Yeah.
Look out. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Then we'll get into the Van Buren boys.
Foul tip, strike 3. 2 strikeouts both against Duvall.
Looking last time, swinging this time. Jake didn't post big strikeout numbers at AAA this year. And, you know, by watching him pitch, that's not his game, more of a pitch to contact approach.
Marlins Nationals delayed. They have rain in Boston. And they are underway. Blue Jays and Red Sox 1-0 Boston. You see they mowed into the grass in center field.
Yeah.
Action shot of Big Poppy. Pretty neat. Orioles and Yankees scoreless after 3. Mets are down 1-0 in the 4th in Philadelphia. Tigers finishing the season in Atlanta, although they may have a makeup Monday. 3-0 over the Braves in the 2nd. Jake Buchanan looking sharp. Scoreless after 4 from Cincy. Watching on I'm On, IMON, in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So you get it? The Rapids. We try to tie it all in. Cubs try to break the scoreless tie. It's Josh Smith. Don't have the base runner yet. Hey, great to see your good friend Tom Browning.
Yeah, Tommy.
Dropping by the booth between innings.
It's kind of fitting that Smith has been perfect through 4 innings here tonight, because Tom Browning threw a perfect game while pitching for the Reds. Cub fans will remember Tom from his venture across the street to the rooftop in full uniform back when he was pitching for Cincinnati, hanging out on the rooftop watching the ball game.
1-1 on Zobrist. Miguel Cabrera has hit his 307th homer as a Tiger tonight. So he passes Hank Greenberg for 3rd on the Tiger all-time home run list.
1-2.
K-line. And
Norm Cash up there. He's a home run hitter. Oh, there we go. Speaking of,
looks like that'll be a home run. It is. Ben Zobrist goes deep. The Cubs have a hit. The Cubs have a run. 1-0. And another homer for the Cubs against this Reds pitching staff.
attaboy, Zo. Just another perfect game jinxed by the announcers.
That is the 38th homer for the Cubs off Reds pitching. Our 4th home run replay. That's the most the Cubs have ever hit against any opponent in a single season. They had hit 37 back in 1955 against the Cardinals. This
is the embodiment of of a cement mixer slider is what he got. The thing was spinning, but not much else.
Major League single season record 254th homer allowed by the Reds.
He's not hit for a lot of power in the second half, but he's been hitting the ball on the line, getting on base.
Smith will get Hayward. I love how he sets the bat down so gently after homering.
Here, just a little spinner, but not a whole lot going on with that slide ball until he got a hold of it. Yeah, Lance Berkman used to do that too. Just hit it, put the bat down.
I think Ben's contributions have been overshadowed a bit.
Ooh, blow out in the
slip
outfield
by Iribarren, but it's the shortstop Peraza to make the catch. You know, early in the season, Fowler and Zobrist really carried the club offensively for long stretches.
Yep, the key to that great start in April and May, those two guys, top of the order, were going great guns.
A lot of Bears jerseys on the flight last night from Pittsburgh to Cincinnati. That one hit pretty well, but going to be caught. Chris Coughlin had the vintage Barry Sanders. I like that one. Brandon Hyde, Joe Montana. Some really good NFL jerseys on this team trip last night. Ben Zobrist gives the Cubs the lead. It's 1-0 in the fifth. Cubs insider throughout the postseason on CSNChicago.com. He's presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich, serving the community for 38 years. Go to jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side, and I'm sure Jeff will be at Wrigley Field for all the postseason action. Buchanan into the fifth inning. 1-0 lead.
Giving up one hit tonight. It came in the bottom of the first. Barn, a 1-out single. Walked one, punched out 3.
Ground ball into center.
Well, he was at the mercy of the count there. He got into a hitter's count, so he elevated just to make sure he found the strike zone, and DeJesus able to take advantage of it. I'd prefer that than try to throw a chase pitch there and end up walking him. At least put it in play. Somebody has a chance to make a play for you. Especially with a guy up there who doesn't hit the ball out of the ballpark very often.
Foul by Barnhart. Fowler. Easy play. And down now, Renda, the right fielder.
No doubt, had you asked Chris Bosio and Joe Madden prior to the game, if you got 5 out of Buchanan, would you take it? I mean, absolutely.
Bounce to third. They're trying to go around the horn, and they do. 5-4-3. Reds done in the 5th. We go to the 6th. It's the Cubs 1, Reds nothing.
Experienced spring training at beautiful Sloan Park in Mesa, Arizona. Reserve your place in line by joining the spring training season ticket holder waiting list. It's easy and free to register. For details, visit sloanpark.com. To the bat phone. Well, a job well done. That's the easy manner of a man whose night is through. There's some movement out there in the Cubs bullpen.
Yeah, usually when the pitching coach is on the line.
Pitching coach is on the line, and the starting pitcher's got the towel around the shoulders. He's not sitting down. He's yucking it up.
Is that what guys do in the bullpen? Yuck it up?
No, they yuck it up in the dugout when you come out. If
see.
you've pitched well. If you've pitched poorly, then you're usually in the clubhouse by now. Just kind of sitting in the corner of the dugout, grousing. Very nice job.
Zastrisny's saying maybe you won't get a tie tonight.
Yeah, it's like anybody can get a win. There are a lot of guys with wins. How many guys have a tie?
There's La Stella on deck in that pitcher's spot. Two balls, two strikes.
Smith has allowed just the one home run here tonight. That's the only hit he has allowed on the year. Coming into the start, left-handed batters were hitting just shy of 300 against him. Righties 227. But he's been effective getting the fastball in on the hands of the left-handed hitters, getting some weak contact.
Lined into center over the head of Arraza.
Yeah, that was a rocket. It looked like it was knuckling as it made its way out there to center field. Tried to throw a little backdoor slider, I believe, and Montero leaned on it.
Stella, the pinch hitter. Nice work, Jake Buchanan. Low for ball one. I know you're wondering, who else went to Lipscomb University?
Don Blassingame.
You are correct. Rex brothers, Bo McLaughlin, Caleb Joseph. One time for Bisons. Right field, and the diving attempt. Renda can't get it. It's a base hit for La Stella. Two on, nobody out.
Not the smoothest attempt. Lucky for Renda, he got a glove on it, was able to keep it somewhat close. Otherwise, Montero gets at least to third base.
Now a visit from Mac Jenkins, that's pitching coach.
Now, I'm no outfielder, but didn't it look like he kind of went into leaning dive mode early, like his last three strides, where if he just stays upright and runs hard to the ball, he probably is able to make a waist-high catch? He retreated initially. That's why he got a little bit of a bad read on it. He was stalking that sinking line drive is what he was doing.
Dexter Fowler. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Swing and a miss.
This is only Renda's third game in the outfield with the big club. He's played a little bit of second and third, and did the same thing in the minor leagues this year. Actually played about as much in the outfield, a little more in the outfield than he did the infield. I think that's he's going to have a role at the big league level next year. It's going to be as a guy who can bounce around, play different positions.
Lefty Tony Cingrani up in the Reds bullpen.
Chance to pad the lead here.
And we want to send out congratulations to a lifelong Cub fan, Captain Tom Murphy from DeKalb Fire, who's retiring tomorrow after 23 years of service. Three and one.
Dangerous time now for Mr. Smith. Third time through the order. Hitters count.
Bases loaded. That'll be it for Smith. Looks like multiple changes are coming. Cubs lead 1-0. And they've got a golden opportunity to add on when we come back in the sixth. And it is Chicago area native Tony Cingrani, alum of Lincoln Way Central High School in New Lenox. He's been a starter in his big league career with the Reds. He's been a closer, and he's trying to put out a fire here in the sixth inning tonight.
He's closed out some games earlier this year. He has saved 17 in 23 tries, 61 innings of work, 52 hits, 37 walks, 47 strikeouts. League bats .234 against him.
Steve Selski comes in as part of a double switch to play right.
Brownie's got a good arm. He's got a little, kind of a low 3/4 delivery. Slings it up there. Gets a little cutting action. He can run that ball in on the hands of a right-handed batter.
Go get him, Tony. Bases loaded, nobody out. Chris Bryant, MVP candidate at the plate. Reds will give up a run for a shot at a double play if Cingrani can get a ground ball here. One strike on Bryant.
Has a slider and a changeup, but there's a high percentage of fastballs.
See Cingrani working the bottom part of the zone, trying to get that ground ball. The kick and the 1-1. Bounce to short. 6-4. That'll be it. So Chris Bryant beats the relay throw, and as a result, he'll get an RBI. 2-0. I love that part of his game.
Yeah, and that's, you know, one of the reasons why he's going to get and likely win the MVP award, because he isn't just a one-dimensional slugging player. He's a good defender, both in the infield and the outfield, and he does good work with his legs as well. First to third, on base hits to right, beats out a lot of ground balls like that.
First and third, one out. There's Rizzo. Stands in. He's flying to center twice. That's LaStella at third. Bryant, the runner, at first. Oh, 2. Orioles have a 3-1 lead at the Yankees in the 5th. Red Sox still leading Toronto 1-0 in the 3rd. Mets 2, Phillies 1. They go to the 6th. Citizens Bank Park. Rizzo strikes out. 2 down.
Brownie's always have the ability to beat you with that elevated fastball. Talked about the arm angle, hides the ball well, so he throws hard, plus there's some deception there.
And a strike right down the middle to Zobrist. Well, he homered from the left side in the 5th. Now batting right. 1 inning later. Pirates Cardinals underway. 0-0, bottom of the 1st. And the Cardinals are out of a playoff spot by 1 game going into this weekend. So even if they win out, they need a little help. They'll be rooting hard for the Dodgers and the Phillies this weekend. I'm sure Mike Matheny, before the game, talking to the media, said all we can do is control our business and try to win, but we're going to take a sneak peek at the scoreboard too. I'm sure.
Dodgers 91-68, so they're 2 games behind the Nationals in terms of home field advantage in that upcoming series. Congratulations, sir. Like pennies from heaven.
Bit of a late arriving crowd. Not bad here tonight.
Fireworks after the ball game.
Well, they've got Bryant caught, but Votto wants LaStella instead. And they'll get him, and that will end the inning. Cubs get one, but Cindrani does limit the damage 2-0 in the 6th. CHNChicago.com, presented by State Farm. Cubs lead 2-0. Took off. Pick, throw to first. LaStella did a rundown between third and home to end the inning. Here is Trevor Cahill, first man out of the bullpen.
That was a smart move by LaStella. Once the man's picked off between first and second, you'd rather have them trying to make a play on you trying to score as opposed to waiting it out. And I mean, he could have timed it maybe a little bit better, waited for Votto to make a throw to second base, so the middle infielder had to make a longer throw home. But if somebody's going to be in jeopardy, it might as well be the guy who's got a chance to score.
Yep. Votto made the right play as well. Continue to try to get Bryant. LaStella very well could have scored. Outside. Steve Selski. An interesting week he has had. He had a 5-hit game Monday. He had a hit his previous game, the last at bat, and then another one the day after. So he had a 7-for-7 stretch over a 3-day period. Russell. Selski hit another one right on the button, but Russell took away a hit.
So takes away a lot of hits. Squares it up, hits it sharply. Matty there to make the play. An outstanding play, but by his standards, he's probably not overly impressed with himself.
Cued foul by Peraza. 0 for 2 tonight. Solid series at Wrigley last week, 5 for 12. And only Trey Turner of the Nationals has hit for a higher average this season among National League rookies. Hook to left, that'll drop fair. Peraza into second with a double.
He hit it hard last time, lined out to right field. This time he pulls it into the left field corner for a two-base hit. It's the third hit for the Reds here tonight. Intriguing young player.
Barron. 22nd game with the Reds this year. Back in the big leagues, first time since 2009. Had a nice year at AAA Louisville at 327 and was the International League batting champ. Gets away from Montero. Wild pitch charged to Cahill. The Reds have a chance here on their third with only one out. Joe will play the infield back, leading by 2. Interesting. That ball was fouled, not by a whole lot. Peraza kind of hesitated, and I think Billy Hatcher at third just told him, you got to go. That ball's fair. You got to score. And Terrell will jump on it quickly.
Trevor needs to recalibrate here. A couple scuds in this inning. Pitch to handle for catcher when it bounces that far out in front of home plate.
Three-two pitch, ground ball. Peraza will score as Zobrist gets Iribarren. RBI ground out now 2-1.
Definitely a trade you're willing to take with a 2-run lead and Votto and Duvall due up. Go ahead and get the out.
Did you get the scoreboard stumper tonight? From my buddy Jamie Ramsey.
I was trying to scroll it down. There's
six active major league players have appeared in 1,500 or more games for their current team.
Oh, okay.
Who are they? 6 players.
Yeah. Well, I saw
1,500.
Yeah, I saw the answer up on the board, and I started to write them down, and I got 5 of them.
You saw the answer or the question?
I saw the answer.
Okay. You had 5 before you saw the answer?
No, I was reading it, and I wanted to write them down so I could present the quiz. But by the time I looked up, they'd taken it down.
Votto might be a choice, or Brandon Phillips. I'm guessing one of those 2.
I would say the latter is correct.
Phillips. Joe Mauer might be another.
Correct.
All right. Well,
you're on your way.
We're a third of the way there. 2-1 Cubs after 6. Been some big moments in this ballpark. 2010, Starlin Castro knocked in 6 in his major league debut. Soler homered in his debut. 2-homer game for Kyle Schwarber, the Ohio native. You had the Bryant game, 3 homers, 2 doubles. Jake Arrieta with a no-hitter. All kinds of good stuff for the Chicago Cubs here at Great American Ballpark. And Soler still dealing with the right side issue. Hopefully we'll get into some action this weekend, possibly the final day on Sunday.
See Strop and Chapman there hanging out in the dugout because they're not going to pitch tonight. They're scheduled to pitch tomorrow. As Joe has said to the writers throughout this time frame here, bullpen usage is pretty much choreographed.
Abel de los Santos.
Ronnie did a very nice job coming in last inning, getting 2 outs, minimizing the damage. One coming home on the Bryant ground ball. There's 2 runs charged to the starter Smith.
Fair ball. Zobrist will make the turn. Two for 3 with a homer and now a double.
Starting to look like the man of the match, isn't he? He and President Buchanan. There's Joe Smith getting ready in the Cubs bullpen. The veteran sidewinder.
Driven deep right and caught. Tagging and heading to third is Zobrist.
Thought he got it when he first hit it. Down off the end of the bat a little bit. Didn't quite get through it. But a quote-unquote productive out. Turns high fives, fist bumps, and away it goes.
Infield will come in against Russell. So let's answer the scoreboard.
Oh yeah, stumper.
6 active players, 1,500 games with their current team. Joe Mauer, Brandon Phillips, David Ortiz,
correct.
David Wright.
Mm-hmm.
Ground ball, fair. Cubs get their 2-run lead back. Russell to second. It's a double.
Cub fans rejoice. And Russell, like Zobrist, right down the third base line and into the corner. This time a run scoring 2-base hit.
Ryan Howard. And Yadier Molina.
Mm-hmm.
Great question.
They do a good job with the scoreboard stumper here.
RBI number 95 for Russell. It's a long shot, but could maybe hit a grand slam, another RBI double, get to 100. Cubs could have 3 guys. We can dream, right?
It'd be fun.
Coghlan hits one hard and smothered by Peraza. Nicely done. 2 outs.
Register for the chance to purchase 2016 postseason tickets for potential games to be played at Wrigley Field. Go to Cubs.com/postseason to register and learn more about this ticket purchase opportunity. The Cubs will conduct random drawings from among eligible fans who successfully complete the registration form. The registration period for the National League Championship Series ends at noon on Friday, October 7th.
Montero 1 for 2 with a run. Let's see David Ross behind the plate tomorrow with John Lester on the mound. Probably Wilson Contreras with Kyle Hendricks on Sunday. This would be worth looking up, right? If it happens, the last team to use 3 starting catchers maybe in the first 3 games of a postseason. Probably pretty rare.
Yeah, I would guess maybe never.
Foul tip. 1-2. Not written in stone. No announcements have been made, but feels like Montero will handle Jake in the postseason. We'll have Ross with Lester. Maybe Contreras with Hendricks. Maybe Montero with Lackey, depending on the pitching matchup on the other side.
Mm-hmm. I think Tim Fedorovich would argue that he should be on the postseason roster and that every starter have their own catcher. A very individualized program.
Sure would. A little high. Mark Trumbo has hit his major league leading 47th for the Orioles. They've got a big lead, 8-1 over the Yankees in the 5th. Swing and a miss. And the Cubs are done in the 7th. Stretch time, they get their 2-run lead back. It's 3-1. NJet, Chicagoland's choice in jet charter service. Just drive up and take off. For a quote, visit n-jet.com or call 888-FLY-NJET. Veteran right-hander Joe Smith, third Cub pitcher to work tonight.
Joe 2-5 on the year, most of it with the Angels, a 3.60 ERA. Spent a little time on the DL since coming off. He hasn't been used frequently, but his stuff has looked sharper. Sidearm delivery, has pretty good slider, sinks the fastball.
Cubs with a 3-1 lead, looking for their 102nd win.
Cahill allowed a hit and a run in his 1 inning of work. No walks, no strikeouts.
Breaking ball, strike 1.
Joe was born here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Went to school at Wright State.
Chopper to third, picked up by Bryant. High throw, Rizzo on the bag.
The newborn fan club is the perfect gift for parents of tiny cubs to showcase what it means to be a Cub for life. Receive a customized photo of the Wrigley Field marquee, a Cubs birth certificate, baby stocking cap, and unique Cubs onesie. Visit Cubs.com/kids for more information. Good job here by Rizzo, stretching to get this high throw from Bryant. I think he was inclined to leave his feet, but I think he kind of realized if I go up, by the time I come down, Duvall's going to be safe. So he just went all Mr. Stretch on us there. Stretch Armstrong. Who was the guy that was a superhero that could stretch?
No clue.
Part of the Fantastic Four or something.
Mr. Stretch works. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 from Mr. Smith. He went to Amelia High School in nearby Batavia, Ohio.
If he's on the roster and the Cubs play the Nationals, then there you go. Mr. Smith goes to Washington. 3, 4, 5 in the Reds lineup tonight. 0 for 9 collectively.
So you're wondering who the original Fantastic Four? Is that
I just remember there was a guy who could stretch or something. Maybe he wasn't
Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Thing, Human Torch.
Torch on, or whatever. Yeah. Okay, turned into
shot out into center. De Jesus on all 3 times, a walk and 2 singles.
Still a thing, the Saturday morning cartoons.
I know they still exist.
It's kind of a, when I was a kid, that was a big deal.
Same for me. I don't think it's quite as big a deal as it used to be. That's my guess. Plastic Man? Is that possible? I've been getting Plastic Man references on Twitter. 0-1 on Barnhart. Mr. Fantastic, I guess is what.
Is he the guy? Okay.
Good stretch. Oh, and 2 the count. Runner at first. Cubs lead 3-1. The pitch. Fly ball left field. Coghlan back now in, and that's it. Reds done in the 7th. Cubs 3, Cincy 1. More after tonight. That's it. Both late afternoon matinees tomorrow. John Lester and Tim Adelman. And on Sunday, Kyle Hendricks and Robert Stevenson will round out the season.
Final tune-ups for Lester and Hendricks, but meaningful starts for them for their regular season resumes. John has a chance to win 20, and Kyle has that sub-2 ERA. He will lead, and barring just crazy occurrence, he will lead Major League Baseball in earned run average. Abel de los Santos, just 4 games at the big league level. He's pitched to a 5.06 ERA. We saw him in the series in Chicago when the Reds were in town. Started the year in the Nationals organization, had a .367 ERA, 29 relief appearances at AA and AAA there. Reds claimed him on waivers middle of July.
Javier Baez to lead it off. Look out, breaking ball. Got away from De Los Santos. Baez hitting for Smith.
Listed at 6'2", $195. Quick arm action.
Happy belated birthday wishes. Number 80, Gene Crescio. There's a strike. 1-2. Duvall. If the Reds outfield were playing .500 tonight, I think Duvall would have already won. Justin Grimm in the Cubs bullpen. Did you play that? 500?
Yeah.
So it was like 100 in the air, 50 on the bounce.
Well,
something like
I think
that.
that was the basic premise. I just remember we had we would do a thing where you got extra points for a one-handed catch versus a two-handed catch, which was bogus.
Actually, now that I look, you know who would have already won is Iribarren. I think he's made 5 catches for 6 in center.
And I think we would give like 75 points if he handled it on one hop, but if more than one, it was 50. And see, that would be a new fantasy game or a new way to come to the ballpark, and you could have a friendly wager on which outfielder is going to get to 500 first.
You played.
Yeah.
You could have played 500 tonight, and in the 4th inning. Already in the 4th inning, Iribarren, if you had his name, you would have won.
He probably has no idea.
100
he won
points per
500.
catch. Yeah. There's been a lot of fly balls in this game, and there'd be certain days where probably no outfielder would catch even 3. If you had a couple sinker ballers or strikeout guys. (3-0) on Fowler. Make it 4-0. He walked him.
Yeah, and we always talk about the value of ground balls. Whenever he's a ground ball pitcher, gets a high percentage of ground balls. In reality, the fly ball gets turned in outs more frequently than a ground ball does. Of course, the ground ball never ends up on the other side of the fence. So it's, when you're talking about a pitcher's profile, whether he's a ground ball guy or fly ball guy. A lot of times there's fly ball pitchers will carry a very low batting average against, but they'll give up a lot of home runs. So if they keep the walks down, they're going to be just fine. But if you walk a bunch plus give up home runs, even if you're carrying a low batting average against, you're going to give up a lot of damage. If you give up a lot of line drives, you're probably going to be in AAA.
Time now for our hefty home runs. The Cubs have hit 38 against the Reds this season. That's the most in a season they've ever hit against one opponent. Bryant with a base hit. His first of the night. He's a second-year player. We have to remind ourselves of this when we consider Bryant's numbers, his poise.
Yeah, and I've played with a lot of guys, or been around a lot of guys who have many years of major league service, but in my mind, it's kind of rookies for life. They just don't get it. And Chris is just the opposite. He's not really a rookie in any regard, even last year. A very mature approach.
Rookie for life. I love it. Anthony Rizzo. We've watched him grow up as a major league player right before our eyes. He was here during some very trying years. He's a long-term commitment in terms of his contract. Ball gets by, runners advance. He's on back-to-back playoff teams.
I don't know where it will all shake out, but he and Chris will end up in the top 5 in the National League in most valuable player voting. And you look at their numbers, on base, slugging numbers, almost identical.
Infield in after a passed ball, and a curve catches the outside corner. 2-2.
Bryant and Rizzo had both, they'd each walked exactly 74 times coming into this game. Chris runs a higher strikeout rate.
Three-two. Base hit right field. Fowler scores. Here comes Bryant, and he's in. It's 5-1. Add 2 RBIs to Rizzo's total. Give him 108 on the year.
And that's the thing about Anthony, and we've talked about it all year long, his willingness to make adjustments. 2 strikes, choke up, change his game. And this time he delivers a line drive base hit to right, and you see Bryant flying down the third base line.
He just scored his 121st run.
Yeah, and that right there is exactly what Joe Madden talks about. He's been talking about all year long. We got to make sure in certain situations that we move the baseball, put the ball in play, change the approach, drive in big runs.
A strike on Zobrist. 1-1. Go ahead homer for Ben in the 5th, double and a run in the 7th. More hefty home runnage. That was the Cubs' first hit, leading off the 5th.
Yeah, a little slow getting started tonight, but since the 5th, they've done a lot of damage.
No Ryder Cup going on. That was about a 7-iron off the ground in a par 3, but that's all he needed, right? Here at American Ballpark. 367.
Don't need to overclub.
2-2 on him. The pitch. And a full 3-2. Driven to right again, and it'll go. 2-homer night, Ben Zobrist. 7-1. He's on his way to a Bryant.
Thinking the same thing. I don't think he's going to get enough turns, but he's getting close. Chris had the 3-home run, 2-double game here for Ben so far. 2 long ones and a 2-base hit. This is pretty much average, right? Cubs scoring 7-8 runs per game against Cincinnati this year. Beautiful swing of the bat. Numbers 16 and 17 for Zobrist tonight.
That'll do it for the right-hander De Los Santos. A 4 spot for the Cubs here in the 8th. They're pulling away late. We referenced earlier, June 27th. He was the first player to ever have a 3-homer, 2-double performance. No, he didn't hit for the cycle, but it's more rare what he did. Couldn't get him out.
Yep. Great reaction by Barnhart on the last one, trying to throw him the shoulder high fastball. Didn't get it up there high enough, and he pounced on it. He got pounced on in the dugout. Coming into this ball game, Chris was batting .388 with a .468 on base and a .925 slugging percentage against Cincinnati pitching this year. 10 home runs, 24 driven in, 26 hits total. The most home runs, well, one shy of most home runs versus any single opponent this year. Brian Dozier has hit 11 against Kansas City.
Midas Tire and Auto Service experts call to the pen. Ross Ollendorf.
Oh, yeah, the veteran right-hander, 5-7 with a .476. 63rd appearance for Ollendorf. He's got that old-fashioned windmill windup.
To Hayward. 2 balls, no strikes. Tipped into the mitt. Treated like a swing and a miss. 2-1. strike on the inside. 2-2. Cubs trying to improve to 14-3 against the Reds. Caught by Selski. Cubs went 14-4-1 against the Pirates. Only 29 points in the season series.
14-4. You can't tie in baseball.
Never gets old. Hockey reference.
Back in the old days, not common, but it would happen much more frequently than it does now. When there was train travel, they have to call the game because the teams had to catch a train. And they get on there and play cards, and of course Lou Gehrig would take a bite out of Babe Ruth's hat. Almost always happened.
Seven times now Ben Zobrist has homered twice in a game.
We mentioned at the beginning of the ball game that this Reds club much improved second half of the season. They played 500 balls since the All-Star break. Pitching's been better, about league average in the second half in terms of their team ERA. Ooh. Bad try. As a matter of fact, just a wee bit better than league average. So second half of the season, National League ERA is 4.18, Reds 4.14. Reasons to be optimistic, and that may be what saved Brian Price's job this second half improvement for the Reds.
Russell walks. There's Coughlin. This 0 for 3. Zobrist had a 2-homer game on May 6th against Max Scherzer. The Nationals. And tonight, two different pitchers, Smith and De Los Santos. And now this Reds bullpen, with that home run here in the 8th, has given up a major league record 100 home runs. Previous record was 92. It was the Kansas City A's, 1964.
Yeah, and clearly they haven't been good. And early on, it was just dismal, their performance. And of course, not getting a lot of help because the starters weren't pitching deep into a lot of ball games. So the bullpen was getting, taxed. Had to work a lot, and they were struggling. It was this vicious cycle that the Reds were, they got to spinning their wheels. Starters would get knocked out early. Bullpen guys would come in, give up the long ball, and on it went.
Coughlin fans, and the inning is over, but the Cubs breaking away from the Reds with 4 here in the 8th and lead 7-1.
nightcap. Still time to take a tour of beautiful Wrigley Field this season. Tours available through October 5th and may include visits to the press box, visitors clubhouse, dugouts, as well as a chance to actually step on the field. This must-see Chicago attraction houses over 100 years of history. Book your tour at Cubs.com/tours.
Right-hander Justin Grimm working here in the 8th. A lot of other changes. We'll get to them here in a second. It looks like Patrick Kivlahan. Remember him? He was with the Padres the last time we saw him.
I know, I recognize that name.
He's now a Cincinnati Red. The pitch. Ground ball to short. Russell's got it.
Wasn't there like a football story or something with Kivlahan? See the guy?
Yes.
Played at Rutgers, I think.
One out.
So we were talking about the Reds' bullpen being taxed. Conversely, the Cubs' bullpen has pitched the fewest innings in the National League because the starters have been so good. So they've been able to massage the situation where they've gotten all these innings out of their starters, but they've given them extra rest here later in the year. It was just the one, DL trip for Lackey. Other than that, everybody's been healthy.
Selski takes low. New outfield, Zobrist in left. Almora in center. Zobrist goes from second to left. Caesar in right. Baez stays in, plays second. Top foul out of play. Grimm had a rough one in Pittsburgh the other night. 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 walks recorded, just 1 out.
There you go.
2-2.
Joe Smith tonight. 1 inning, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, a strikeout.
Swing and a miss on the curveball. 2 gone.
The Mets now lead the Phillies 4-1, top of the 8th in Philadelphia. Jay Bruce has hit a home run for the Mets.
Nice of him to do for the tie it all in. We're here in Cincinnati. He was a Red. No 1-1 to Peraza. The pitch. Curve low and outside.
He homered back-to-back days in the Miami series as well, so maybe starting to heat up. He's a very streaky hitter and really struggled since joining the Mets, but starting to make a push.
Two on Peraza. Vin Scully working tonight, starting his final series as a major league announcer. in San Francisco. Dodgers and Giants. Hard to believe. 67 seasons. Starting in 1950. Swing and a miss to end the 8th. Reds go 1-2-3. We go to the 9th. All Cubs tonight. Beverage Depot, and we're giving it to Ben Zobrist.
Yeah, boy, what a night he has had. A couple long ones plus a double. He continues this onslaught on Reds pitching by Cubs hitters.
Benny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. 3-4 hitters tonight. That's Rizzo, Zobrist for the Cubs. 4 for 8 combined with 5 knocked in. And for the Reds, Votto and Duvall probably would be considered their 2 most dangerous hitters in their current lineup. Nothing so far.
So right here, Matt McGill out of the Reds bullpen now.
Strike. Montero not so sure.
He had a little big league time with the Dodgers back in 2013. This year with the Reds, he's appeared in 4 ball games. Made 6 starts for LA back in 2013. Was 0-2 with a 6.51 ERA. This year at AAA for the Reds, 4-1 with a 4.46, 29 appearances, all out of the pen.
Mets in good shape. 5-1 at the Phillies tonight because they were 2 up on the Cardinals. Win tonight. Cardinals lose. They'll be 3 up with 2 to go. They'll be in.
It'll be a 2-team battle between the Giants and the Cardinals for that final spot. How are the Cardinals doing?
They are leading 1-0 in the 5th.
Still, the best case scenario for the Cubs, of course, would be if all 3 of those teams ended up in a tie and they had to play play off before the wild card game and had to burn through an extra pitcher just to get to that point.
Jed Jerko with a home run in the 3rd inning tonight. They'll lead the Pirates. Carlos Martinez dealing through 5. 3 hits, no walks, 6 strikeouts. Montero takes the free pass.
Tigers lead the Braves 5-0. Braves have been red hot. Just battling for a wild card spot in the American League. Game and a half behind Toronto and Baltimore, who are tied coming into play tonight, but just one back in the loss column.
Both those teams are leading. Orioles up big. Just as a point of reference, the Cubs last year had the second wild card spot in the National League. They finished 13 ahead of the Giants. It's Carl Edwards Jr. So among the 5 teams, they were basically seeded 5th in the NL playoffs last year.
Yeah, that was a very unique year.
This year they're top dog going in.
Now, usually, and you know, 88, 89 wins usually good enough to get you a wild card spot.
96 wins wouldn't have gotten anybody in last year ahead of the Cubs and Pirates. And Zobrist finished the year with the Kansas City Royals. They won the whole thing. Back to the pitcher's mound. And a double play. 1-4 to 3. Slip out of the batter's box.
Yeah, he's grimacing a little bit. I'm trying to remember the play where he rolled his ankle the other night. Was it in the ball game yesterday or the day before?
Can't remember.
Yeah, he landed awkwardly. You know, we were speculating that perhaps he'd rolled his ankle a little bit, so he may have a little bit mild something going on.
Caesar pops to DeJesus. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Cubs lead the Reds by 6.
push is with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Get MLB.com at bat on your favorite devices now.
That
got a little Ron Swanson going on there. Perfect hat too. I want one of those. Wear that all winter long.
There's Carl Edwards Jr.
Carl on for the 35th time, 0-1 with a 3.44. Trying to preserve this 6-run lead. It'll be a W for Jake Buchanan, his first in the Cub uniform. Carl pitched 3 days ago in Pittsburgh. Scoreless inning, had a walk and a strikeout.
Ball 1 to Iribarren. Paid crowd this evening, 27,368. Hey, I got a free cup of coffee today.
By getting the scoreboard stumper correct?
Nope. Tom Otis Hellman, the Cubs clubhouse manager, was thrilled to learn that I got a free cup of coffee at a local coffee place because the Bengals won last night.
Really? Was there? Did you have to say anything, or just show up and they were just doling out free coffee?
I had an app, and she said you have a free cup of coffee on your app, and we're trying to figure it out. And then at one point she goes, "Yeah, you get a free cup of coffee because the Bengals won." So I don't know if she just decided, or what. Now, do I understand you're supposed to say "Who Dey" to Bengals fans here?
I thought that was a New Orleans Saints thing. That's who dat.
Well, Otis claims that they stole it from Bengals fans. So, yes. You see a Bengal fan in town, you're supposed to say "Who Dey."
Who Dey.
Two. Oh, he swung at that. And he will reach. Boy, I worry about Miguel there. As he went for that ball, he went over that little tarp thing that makes up the on-deck circle. And I worry that he's going to lose his footing there and tweak an ankle or a groin or something.
Strikeout, wild pitch. Puts man on first base. Pretty athletic play by Montero to run this one down.
Look at that swing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that could have easily been a rolled ankle or
Kinds of paraphernalia over there. Eerily quiet night for Votto. He has not been very quiet here lately. Another look from behind home plate. That's not a quiet swing, is it? Gone. Two-run homer for Votto, 7-3.
Reds fans something to get excited about. And Joey Votto has had that brilliant second half. Well, he's had a brilliant career. Yes. That's under the category of it's tough to keep a good man down. 0 for 3 tonight. Prior to that swing of the bat. It's his 29th long ball on the year.
The ball swings and misses. Yep, the way it's going for Joey Votto, you just didn't feel like he was going to go down quietly tonight, and he didn't. He hit that one right on the stitches. Swing and a miss. It's the first out. You never say that.
It's the first out, but it's the second strikeout
on a baseball.
Yeah.
You never say hit that one right on the stitches.
Right on the stitches. Oh, there you go. I think you should say that now.
I'm going to.
Whoop.
Good landing by Edwards. One and one.
Keeps flexing that left leg.
Mora for out number 2. Jake Buchanan will get his first win as a Cub and the second of his major league career. He went 5 shutout innings tonight. Jesus Jr., whose dad played for the Cubs, takes a strike. Curve is off the plate inside. 2-1. We're going to be all right tomorrow weather-wise. The long-term forecast had some rain. I hadn't looked at it today.
Might be a little dicey.
Okay. We had enough dice in Pittsburgh. Back out of play. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 9th inning.
Coming into this appearance, Carl had allowed 13 earned runs this year. Now 8 of those coming in 2 outings. A couple hiccups along the way, but mostly really good.
Fly ball right field. This should be it. Matt Caesar makes the grab. Cubs win. Cubs win 7-3. They take the opener here in Cincinnati.
Congratulations, Jake Buchanan, first win as a Cub, and Ben Zobrist, what a night he has. A couple of home runs plus a double. He was the Batman tonight. So Jake and the Batman getting it done.
So we'll be right back with you tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock for game 2 of this series against the Reds. Once again, your final score.